That's gotta go.
Yeah, that's to show it's authentic.
Alright.
Is it recording?
Yeah. Alright, so Neville Medhora and the chief at Sumo over here.
Oh, no Kagan.
And we're talking about the dropshipping Muse business. And I'm going to kind of interview you, and then you can kind of like ask me questions, do whatever. But I want to talk about ghetto businesses first. And what I mean by ghetto business is that a lot of people get paralyzed whenever they think about starting a business, right? They think like, oh my God, how do I handle customer service? And do I have to get a CRM to input stuff? And what about sales? And what about this? And what about the website? It has to look professional. And it's like, whoa. Like, you're making this way too complicated. You can start a ghetto business. They call it bootstrapping. I just call it ghetto. It's just like stupid. And
I call it Neville.
but like in your time too, you've started a bunch of ghetto little businesses. Even AppSumo.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Can you explain to them how it was like started? Like AppSumo, when it first was conceived, like it was like a sperm and you're...
Yeah, I mean AppSumo was really started with, I literally searched Google like code for registration site, PHP, got that code, put it on a website, and I got some guys in Pakistan to connect it with PayPal. And then I called up Imgur.com. I think I've shared this story a few times, but I called up Imgur and said, hey, let me sell your product, and I'll give you $7 for everyone I sell. And then I promoted it on Reddit where everybody knew about it. It literally took me about a week to get all this kind of stuff completed. And I think you're right on the point where I have a best friend of mine who is an engineer, and he has already thought of every single edge case why things won't work. And what I've noticed from businesses like two things that are critical. One, momentum. So you just get something started. Just get like $1. You get $1, you can like, all right, things are working. And the second thing is when you start something, you find out what's going to work. And so you can see like, oh, this is actually works, and let me continue it. Or maybe this doesn't work, but like Twitter, this status update thing is actually working really well. And so those are the two things where people really need to get stuff going. And that's why I think ghetto business is like, you always should start as ghetto or as bootstrapped or as quickly as possible.
Let me ask you this. So with AppSumo, did you even think in your head like, oh my God, what if someone doesn't want the deal? What if I have to refund them? Did you even think about that possibility?
No, so there are some considerations where you don't want to be doing like surgery, and if you don't think through things, people die. But we're building web apps. Like it's not life or death for the most part with them. And so no, I was just thinking, let me see if I can put a product out, if people buy it. And what was funny in terms of how ghetto it was that when people bought, I set up a Gmail forward so it would let me know that someone bought, and I would go grab the code and I would manually email them the code. Which now it sounds like obviously we have systems in place that just automatically distribute it and they deduct things. But I just set the codes in myself, and then once people kept buying more, then I actually coded up, okay, let me put it in a database and send it out manually. But no, I set it out automatically. I did not spend a lot of time thinking about a lot of the edge cases, which it's not to say that you shouldn't think about edge cases, but the most important thing when you're trying to get off your business or you're trying to start something after work is to do it daily and get it started. I think that's the number one barrier that people have, and I think with your video about starting your own Muse business, I think it's half a bad video because you're going to get inspired and you're not going to do anything. And that's going to really upset me. But it's half good where you can see the processes and how someone actually runs their own Muse business so that you can go literally stop the video, copy what he's doing, or just do it yourself in your own way. Yeah,
so one of the things I want to explain to everyone, this shows a Muse business that it makes about $250K a year in revenue, and then a part of that is my profit, and I show all that in the video. But at the same time, it was started as like this ghetto little experiment. And people now see it and they're like, oh, you barely have to work, that's cool, I want to do what you do, but I'm not smart enough. I didn't know anything about e-commerce.
I mean, you've never even been to a rave, right?
Yeah, it's a rave site that sells like rave equipment kind of stuff. And here's the funny thing, people are like, well, I don't know anything about raves, neither did I. In fact, like less than 10% of the people that buy from me are going to raves. It's like moms and stuff that buy.
But who is this video for? Who, if we can say who are the people that should not be buying this, and who are the people that like, you must get this today?
The people that have like wanted to start a business for a long time, but they don't do it because they get paralysis by analysis. Like they look at something and they're like, but Neville, how do you handle the customer service? How do you integrate with your supplier and blah, blah, blah. They think everything's perfect. Like they look at someone else's business that's been in business for 3-4 years and they're like, well, they've got it all down. It's all automated. But in the beginning, it was really ghetto. So I'm showing you how like I started a ghetto business. Like in the beginning, when I first got my first order, it was like $54 or something like that. And I freaked out because I got an email saying like, someone paid you money. And I was like, what?
How's that feeling?
It was confusing. I was excited, but I was like scared because I was like, well, what do I do? Like I never actually planned to make a sale. Like I didn't know.
All right. Well, two things that you got me thinking about are I want to know how you got that sale. I think we should share that. And then who should not get this? Who is this just like I think you should pass.
Well, someone who doesn't really want to start a business on the side, if it's actually for the people who try to start businesses but then keep failing. Like if you execute just a little, but then you're like, well, this won't work, this won't happen, then, I mean, those people shouldn't buy it because it's going to be a waste of money. Okay. If someone wants to actually start taking action in the future, this is like the first ghetto step to showing you. Like the biggest feedback I've got was it was so inspiring to people. Like they just didn't know it was that simple. They just simply never had seen one of their friends with a Muse business. So a lot of people may live in remote areas or just not hanging out in a group of entrepreneurs, and all their friends have jobs. And whenever they want to start a business, they have no model to go based on. One of the reasons I started a business in the first place, like in high school, my very first like real business, was because there was a kid who moved from California that had an e-commerce business. And I thought he was kind of stupid. He was also Indian. And I was like, I'm smarter than him and I'm Indian. And I should be able to do this too. And I just simply didn't know like a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old could start a business. I just didn't have that concept in my mind, so I never tried it. So this actually proves to people that like even if you don't know a lot about e-commerce and all that stuff, you can still do this. Like even if you don't know too much about the web, it's possible. There's tools out there that do it for you.
Well, so I want to finish with the story with how you got that first customer, but you got me wondering. I lost my train of thought, but I'll come back to me.
You can always read the cheat sheet if we have to.
No, it wasn't a cheat sheet question. It was more something that I was just curious about myself. Let's go to how do you get that first customer?
The first customer, it was just like I put the website out there, and I really like everyone was just like, well, how am I going to get website traffic and stuff like that? No one believes that anyone would buy this stuff. It was like light of clothes stuff. Who would buy that online? Someone found me. I never even did any marketing or anything. Someone just found me through some weird search engine result or some referral that someone sent them and blah, blah, blah. And they found me and bought something. From there, I moved forward. I found out how they came to the website. It was like a search engine result or something. And then I was just like, okay, well, I guess this keyword's ranking well. Let me see if I could do anything to rank it better.
Yeah.
So from there, I kind of learned SEO on my own, and it's like easier than you expect. So I started doing different types of marketing like that. I took out a couple of banners on like rave websites. I went to forums, and I didn't really have any money to like spend. So I went to forums and just kind of like spammed them in the beginning. And then I would like actually kind of like become like a member of the forums and start talking about stuff. And every fifth post, I'd be like, oh, I got these from House of Rave. It's like ghetto, like guerrilla marketing like that. And when you have no money and really no talent, in like creating online businesses,
and you're not even that smart or good looking.
Exactly, everything was against me. But for some reason, I got that first one, and you know what? I started a bunch of little small businesses along the way, and they all start out ghetto. But you learn so much from making that first sale. Like if someone makes a business out of this that makes $100. That's it. They will learn probably more than any like internet course they can go to and blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Seriously, tell people to make $100 and watch them squirm and bitch about it. But when you do, you'll learn so much more, and then your next business will get better and better.
Exactly. I think I don't know how many more. I don't even know what the cheat sheet questions are, but the thing that I was coming back to originally was this is one of our most popular things ever on Sumo, and a lot of people trying to create their own businesses, trying to do that. What is the response that you've gotten, or success stories, or anything you've heard from people who have already got this?
Oh God, it was like immense. I was really concerned that people would not get their value out of this at first. Yeah. So I spent all this time, and I never made a course before this. And so I made a course like in my own way. Like it was like goofy. It wasn't like, welcome to this internet marketing course. Blah blah blah. Here is how you do it. No, I was just like, what's up, everybody? I was just like being stupid because I wanted to have fun with it. And almost everyone that's emailed me has said like, I never had a business before. I've always wanted to do it. And they've been thinking about it for years, but they think about like, oh my God, do I have to register a company? And like, I have to go like get a tax lawyer. I'm like, whoa, dude, slow down. Like they don't know how simple it is. So the biggest thing is like people realize it's possible and that it's simpler than they think. It's ghetto in the beginning. That's why I want to say like, make a ghetto business.
I really wish we had like a super ghetto person come by and be like, oh, it is not ghetto.
Well, like a backwards hat.
Yeah, this is not ghetto.
No, but like the feedback has been immense from people who started businesses, and I also put this like option like on my website as a joke because like the Photoshop buy now button had 2 options on it, and I didn't know how to get rid of the other side of it without looking good. So I just said like for $99 extra, whatever, you could call me, and a lot of people did that. I was kind of blown away. I was just like, really? They probably could have just called me for free actually, but I gave them a lot of consulting time, and those people truly had never seen inside a business ever. I was lucky because in my Zoroastrian community, like my religion, we had a lot of close friends that were business owners. And they would take me around and show me their businesses and how it works and what the CEO does and what the guy at the bottom does. I got lucky and got that exposure. Most people never got that opportunity. Yeah, they never got that.
It's cool.
So we get to see a lot of our friends' companies, right?
We kind of cheat all the time.
Yeah, and so we just got back from a lunch where we got to see inside of a $20 million company, and they tell us all their secrets, but not everyone gets that.
It was buildasign.com.
Yeah, we need to interview them.
We will.
That'd be cool.
Is there any other questions on the cheat sheet?
Can I do a quick thing and show them kind of like what they're getting? Because I don't know if it actually shows them anywhere on the deal page. Well, here's the good part. It's going to be ghetto because they can't read stuff because I don't want them to see all the text because it's like, this is what you pay for. But basically, I'm going to do a really ghetto screencast. This is how ghetto our business is. Look at this. We're holding up a MacBook Air. So whenever you log in, you get this. You get like all these videos. This is what you get. So scrolling down, and there's like text and video. And you play each video, and each video explains a different aspect. And then you can go to the next part. So you go to like part 2 over here. Oh, I'm covering up your face. We'll see. You can see the Chief Sumo's face while you're saying.
I think with closing up.
So you get the point over here.
I think one of the best ways to close this up is kind of what I was telling you on the scooter ride back here. So we went out to lunch with BuildASign. And I truly believe this. Is like we went out to lunch with BuildASign. We spent $35 on lunch, right? That $35 for the knowledge that they shared about how their business ran, how things that we should be doing differently, or just even the one idea. And I hate when people do. You buy a book for $15, you get one idea. Because it's kind of annoying, and it's kind of like it kind of bothers me when people say that. But that's how I really felt. Like we spent $35 on lunch, which it's kind of that's like what 7 Subway sandwiches. You know what I mean? But like the stuff that they were able to teach us about how we could grow AppSumo and like just what they've done that worked and didn't work was just like it'll probably create, if not tens of thousands, millions of dollars for us. So I don't know what the course is now. It's like $60 or $50. I'm not sure what the special is today, but I think that's what you should consider. Have you been frustrated, right? And look, if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. We always offer our 100% lifetime before you die guarantee. People have liked it in the past, and I think hopefully, like one of my greatest satisfactions is people that said, I bought something on AppSumo, I started my business, and look at where I am today. And ideally, they'll come back and be on AppSumo themselves, and I hope that for.
Can I tell the Tim Ferriss story just a little bit of it?
What's the Tim Ferriss story?
About the no.
Which one? No.
Can do that.
Which one? What's the Tim Ferriss story?
Just lightly tell.
Which one?
Just how like some people bought it under that assumption, but
no, I think that's weird.
I can't do it.
No, I mean it just doesn't mean anything.
The way I'm saying it.
Well, no, we put Tim Ferriss on the email copy, but people bought it, and then people didn't realize it wasn't Tim.
Well, I just want to share a couple examples I got of feedback of that. Okay, I don't know.
I wouldn't bring that in. Because basically we also got refunds because people thought it was Tim and it wasn't. Do you want to share that one part too?
But that's the part I'm telling. Someone thought so. A Muse Business is like a popularized term in a certain book.
4-hour work week.
4-hour work week. Okay, so they read the term Muse Business in like the subject line, and they thought it was someone else.
No, it's because also they put Tim Ferriss as the author.
Yeah, it was like a screw up in like a clerical.
Yeah, it was our fault.
And I certainly never wrote that or intended. So there's a couple of people who wrote that, and we said, if you bought it under false pretense.
I mean, we emailed everyone.
Everyone, the entire list. Like, we were so apologetic because it's totally our fault. And we emailed everyone saying, like, look, if you thought this was someone else and you bought it under false pretense, we want you to refund. We want you to give your money back, and you can keep the product, I got all these emails from that saying, hey, look, man, I was actually, I thought this was someone else's product.
I know a lot of it.
And then, yeah, you got a lot of those emails too. And then I bought it, and then I watched it, and I have to say, this is literally, quote, this is some of the best content I've ever seen online. And they fucking loved it. They were raving about it, even though it wasn't like what they thought. And a lot of those people were so thankful for that information because they totally learned a lot. And it wasn't just like fluff information. It's just like condensed good information.
We did get refunds. I mean, there was a few, just to be, put out that there. Like, we did get refunds of people who it wasn't Tim. And it was totally our fault because we wrote Tim was a part of it, and it was
sure. If they bought it under false pretense, they should absolutely get their money back.
Yeah, but
a
it was
lot of people said,
that,
"I'm not going to refund it because I think this is so damn good," and that made me feel amazing.
The only problem with this whole video about talking about your product is that it just makes it seem so good. Seriously, it makes it seem like, oh, you're gonna be able to see our business, you're gonna start your own business. It's like, what's something negative? Do you have anything negative to share?
No. There's probably a negative in that, like, I'm sure of everyone that bought it, I don't think everyone went out there and started a business. I think there's always, like, this percentage rule of, like, most people are the norm, and they kind of, like, they'll get inspired by it a little bit, but probably not really do anything. There's a lot of those people that just exist that buy this.
Could we tell them not to buy? We should. If you're not ready to start a business, or you're happy with your cubicle job or whatever it is you're doing, I just work at Intel. I know cubicles, and if you want to stay there, don't get the video. That's a negative, right?
That's fine. I don't want people that don't like it.
How do they know if they don't like it or not?
Well, they can always refund if they want. I mean, if it doesn't help, they should refund. They should.
I love refunds, but yeah, I mean, I really think like, to me, it would mean a lot. Like if you're not really ready to start your own business, like I really don't think you should buy. I think if you've been frustrated or you've been trying for a little while, this is probably a good step for you to kind of get inspired, see behind the scenes, and see how you can really just start it tonight, being as simple or ghetto as possible.
Yeah, it's for people who want to start their own business who've just simply never seen inside one and want that kind of inspiration. So if you're not going to start a business, then absolutely don't do it. Other than that, if you do want to start a business, you need to grab a hold of it.
Which one is the stop? I don't even know.